Now, this is a tip that saves a massive amount of time when you're coming to the stage of a project where you want to propose color routes. And you may create something like this I have on the screen at the moment. Now, this is a very simple color route with just 2 colors, and I would usually create some mock-ups. If this is later on in the brand identity process, there may be patterns we've developed, supporting graphics, and there's quite a lot going on here to try and give the client a real taste of the look and feel they're going to get and the impact this color is going to have on their branding. So you can imagine, to go through all these artboards and try to recolor each element, you can't simply select everything and recolor, because you see this little question mark icon over the fill, which means you've got a mixture of colors. So it's quite tedious, and perhaps this is what you've done until now. You go through trying to select similar elements and recolor them one at a time. Well, there's a much easier way. And to do that, I would select all of my artwork and actually just duplicate the artboards. But in this case, I'm going to copy the artwork onto artboards that I have in place already. And let's say for the client, this was to be color route 2. I would take the opportunity to create the new color palette here. I've actually come up with one earlier that I'm going to use in this example. So the same ivory white, but it's going to be a soft green. And if you were just experimenting at this phase, you could select those 2 objects and create a new artboard from, not artboard, a new color group from them, which would appear up here. It's important because to use this tool, you need to have a color group ready to select from. So once you have that, excluding this first page, we're going to select all of our artwork we wish to recolor, and you simply go up to the top and you have this option here, Recolor Artwork. And you'll see a number of options at first. You can play with these to see what they do, but for the purpose of this demo, I want to recolor everything. But once you become familiar with this, and please play with the different options, the result is that you can recolor pages of your artwork by using that simple tool. And you've got fine control over choosing exactly which color will change into a substitute color. So it's hugely useful, and you can see just by clicking a few options, I'm able to provide an entirely different color route for the client to see. What if you've got something more complicated? So in this example down here, because we've actually got a gradient at play, and if I click on the artwork here, you can see we've got a gradient that's using 5 different spot colors. So how on earth, without pulling your hair out, do you recolor something like this to show alternative color routes? Well, thankfully, the Recolor Artwork tool works really well in this situation. Again, if you select all the artwork you'd like to be recolored, and you'll notice I've created a color group that has enough options that I know they'll be able to, I'll be able to swap a substitute for each of the colors that's present in this. So you will need to create a palette before you click this button. But when you click to Recolor Artwork and I select color group 5, I don't want it to change this blue. And as soon as I do that, you can see intelligently it's tried to give me the best match it thinks is appropriate. But I can drag and drop if I want to reorder this, and it's actually affecting the gradient, which is awesome. So even if you have complex artwork and you want to change around and explore different color palettes, this tool makes something that can be a huge headache a quick and easy step, as long as you create some color groups for yourself beforehand.